What's up, pretty gang? It's your favorite nail tech Peaches, back with another video, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about Frenchies. I'm going to talk to you guys about how much do I charge, why do I charge that much, and we're going to get into detail on how to improve your French tips. A lot of clients think Frenchies are so plain and simple. I'm going to break down why they're not as easy and simple as what people think. So before we go ahead and get into it, make sure you guys check the description for coupon codes, my Amazon storefront. Of course, follow me on social media, subscribe, and turn on your notifications if you have not already, because I got some good things coming. It's March, which means it's my birthday month. So first things first, I want to apologize that this video has took so long to come out. I've been dealing with a health issue, and the medication I'm on has made me really tired. I did intend for this video to be out like 4 days ago, but like from being tired, and then like every time I try to do the voiceover, it's always something and the words aren't quite coming out. But it's 8 in the morning, we're starting fresh, and I think we got it. Okay, so appreciate y'all for being patient. So French tips. I used to charge like $40 for French tips like 4.5 years ago when I first started doing nails. That was because a lot of people weren't getting French tips like that, and honestly that was still when you lay a white tip and you just lay clear over the whole entire thing. So for me that just seemed like pretty sufficient enough. Fast forward to like 2021 when French tips got really popular during COVID and people were doing all acrylic French tips. Then I jumped the price up to $70, but between then, like that's like 3 years difference or something like that. So I was like, okay, I'm doing these built up Frenches, I'm not that good, and I am still a little bit slower. So for that reason I was like, okay, I still kind of need to get compensated. I feel like this is way more difficult than just like, you know, $60-70 or whatever. But at that time I'm like, I'm not the best, I'm not that great, so I don't want to overcharge and play myself. Now for French tips, I personally charge $90. So French tips, just a plain color, it doesn't matter if it's built out in acrylic or painted, is going to cost $90. And the way I decide if I want to paint or build it out is going to depend on time as well as length and just the overall look. Okay, so first things first, what do I take into account for the price? Number one, we just did a whole full set. You see what I'm saying? So even if I'm painting it on, I just did a basic full set, and my basic full sets start at $40 as it is. So it does not sound like, to me personally, I'm not going to be like, oh, okay, I'm adding an extra $20 on for French. No, because French, like painting French does take actual skill. We're just going to have to ignore the phone, you guys. I apologize. I can't do this voiceover one more time. I can't do it. Okay. So, we're making, we're making this baby pink with these 3 colors. I have coupon codes for Madam Glam and Nail Reserve. Gel Elixir has my favorite white and black polish, and I pretty much use Nail Reserve polishes for all, like, everything. Okay. So just a really quick tip. If you want to make baby pink, you start out with a decent amount of white, and then pretty much you need like half or less of the pink depending on like how baby pink you want it, and then you need like even half of what the actual pink is of like a pinkish nude or whatever. And when you mix it up, you're gonna automatically get a baby pink. Now you're gonna have to adjust the amount. So like once you pretty much get the color you want, you can add more white to make more, and then like pretty much repeat that process to like make more. If you want it lighter, just go ahead, add white. All right, boom. Okay, anyways, so yes, I charge $90 starting off to do Frenchies. Even if it's built out in acrylic, you have to figure that's 2 different full sets. So when I'm doing acrylic French, the price is $90 because I'm basically doing 2 full sets. I have to make the smile line, and I have to let it dry. I have to shape the smile line. I have to put on the next part of the acrylic on the tip. It's still shaped. I'm going to show you guys painted French because I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory why acrylic French would be $90. And at first I was doing painted French for less until I got my skill up and I realized, no, this takes a lot of skill. Okay, here we go. So why do I charge $90 for painted French though? You guys are going to realize that, number one, I'm able to get pretty much all 10 extremely similar. And that is a skill that everyone does not have, and I feel like I should be able to charge for that skill. The other thing is, I am also able to get French tips done within 2.5 hours, depending on the length. So longer lengths are definitely going to be upwards of 2.5 hours. The shorter lengths are definitely going to be more in the 2-hour side. it takes about 20 minutes to do this first hand, and then the second hand I can usually get done within 15 minutes. And that's because on the first hand you have to keep in mind that you are making the shape. Like, the first nail always takes a long time because that's when you're deciding how long do I want my smile line, what shape do I want it in. So you're basically doing all the customizing on this one nail, because this one nail is going to be what we're basing everything off of. And then with the other nails, as you're copying it on the same hand, you have to keep in mind that sometimes you end up doing one a little differently. You like that one better, so then you change the plan and things like that. So that's why the first hand takes longer. But you see how I'm double checking everything? I check against each other. I'm going to check against the other hand. Things like that is, I realized other people do not necessarily do. Okay. And so once I kind of realized that, and I realized, wow, I'm actually good at painting French, and because I'm very much a thorough type of person, that I started realizing there's no reason why I should be charging painted French less than acrylic French, when honestly, acrylic French is kind of a little bit easier, because I personally I'm pretty good with working with acrylic. So shaping the smile line is not really a difficult thing for me to do, if that makes sense. I can kind of pretty much knock it out in a way. It's only time consuming because you have to wait for things to dry. But as far as skill, I do think that painting it does take a little bit more skill, because with the acrylic French, I don't use any acrylic, you know, like the little cutter to get the perfect French, but you can honestly do that. So, which I feel like a lot of people do. I don't do that. I do everything by hand, but I'm just saying, like, this takes way more skill because it's your hands, it's your eyes. There is no like necessarily like a shortcut. And if you want different like patterns on your French tip, of course the price goes up. If you want stuff in the background, like this client, she did want an encapsulated background, so she wanted like stars and hearts in the background of the French tip, and I'm like, dude, that's gonna be quite a bit, because I'm basically doing a whole encapsulated set first, and then I have to paint French tips on top, so that's gonna run you like in the mid 100s. And of course she was like, oh, I didn't think about that, because clients do tend to think that like, oh, it's just in the background right there where the French is, but like they don't really think about the fact that like, yeah, but I have to do a whole encapsulated set, because that's the only way it's going to get in the background. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much why I charge what I charge. Towards the end of the video, I'm going to let you guys know exactly how much she paid for the set. Comment down below how much you charge, or if you feel like my prices are unreasonable, etc., etc. So how do you get better at French tips? The way you get better at French tips is you make yourself be more thorough. So the way that I'm double checking, triple checking against each nail, that's how you make yourself get better at French tips. If you want to get better at anything nail related, you're going to have to get it in your head that, hey, today I want to improve. You will not improve if you do not put it in your head at some point that I want to actively get faster. I want to actively get better. Because yes, you will improve. Hold on, let me tell him very quick. Babe, it's 8:28. You're welcome, babe. So you will not actively improve or get better if you don't hold that in the back of your head. Because the thing about it is, day by day, of course, you are going to naturally get better because your hands are doing the work. Like, it's repetitiveness. However, you have to allow your brain to start looking at your work subjectively and be like, dang, I can improve on that. So if you don't start looking at your work like, wow, I want to improve on that, then it's not going to happen as quickly as it could. Okay? That's crazy. Okay, ambulance. So start doing things a little bit different. Start pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. If you want to get faster at French tips, then start thinking of, how can I be more accurate in drawing my French tips? Okay? If you want to get more accurate at drawing your French tips, think, how can I change the way that I'm painting my French tips? So basically, everything is kind of like a puzzle piece when you think about it, because even looking at this clip, you can see how pretty even that my French tips are. I used to not be able to draw French tips and keep all of them wet before curing. And so for me personally, to get faster, it was, let me see if I can accurately draw these French tips and cure them all together, instead of draw one, cure a little bit, draw another, cure a little bit. Because although it saves you from like smearing stuff, It also takes even more time. And if you cure one, not realizing the next one you do is better, okay, well, now you have to go back and fix that one. Rather than, hey, I'm going to draw on this first layer, I'm going to cure them together, and if I need to make adjustments, I can do it in the second coat of polish if I need to. Okay? So that's pretty much what's going to help you to improve. Now, really quickly, for the thumb and the pinky, keep in mind you are drawing these French tips to scale. You're not drawing the same exact thickness as the other ones because the pinky is smaller, the thumb is bigger. So you're really just going to have to worry about the shape and the size. Like, okay, what shape and size is like to scale for the other fingers? If that makes sense. And that's going to help you way more than trying to think like, okay, how thick are the other ones, and let me just draw it, because sometimes that's going to be a little bit too small on the thumb and that's going to be a little bit too thick for the pinky. So you kind of have to keep that in mind. So when doing the other hand and we're trying to get this one to match the other, same thing. We are going to start with the index. Okay, I don't recommend starting with the pinky because the pinky is smaller, so it's going to give you an inaccurate view of your friendships basically. So we're basically going to draw like, okay, I'm going to draw what I think this other one looks like, and then I'm going to compare them, and then boom, now we have our prototype for this hand, and we're just going to compare them all back and forth. Again, if you do not get in the habit of double checking and triple checking your work, you guys, I'm going to be honest with you, something will be a little bit off. So if you've noticed in your work, like, man, I don't know what it is, something's a little bit this way, one's always pointing that way, this, that, and the other, that's why you need to start triple checking your work, okay? Now, I feel like clients need to kind of stop thinking that friendships are so easy. I have actually had clients while I'm doing this, they've been like, I understand why you charge what you charge. And honestly, it made me feel good because I've always had a hard time charging what I feel like I should be charging, because so much other people charge so much more than me that it seems like, dang, no offense, but that's a lot considering that this is just nails. Okay, like I understand there's a lot of money to be made, but at the same time, we can't be money hungry, otherwise we're not going to be able to hang on to our clients. So for me personally, I feel like $90 is a good medium, because at the end of the day, these nails are going to last 4 to 5 weeks before they come back. So, you know, you're only paying it once and it's going to last you the entire time. So you can see I'm comparing this hand to itself as well as to the other hand, and that is how I get such a good, you know, look. And you can see just from looking here, they look pretty even. What you want the goal to be is to be able to give Michelle the same quality of French tip as you gave, you know, Marcy, as you gave Vivian, and that's pretty much the goal. All right, so of course at the end, y'all, I'm gonna put you on reshape your French after you top coat. Be careful because you don't want to get rid of too much color on the sides, and then we're gonna go with the e-file underneath and get rid of any of the areas where the color is gone on the sides and nobody will even know, and that's how you get your shape back to where it does not look so bulky with polish. So this client paid $90 for the French tip, $10 for the duckies. That's $100 in total, but at the appointment minus the $10 deposit, she paid $90 there just for the nails. So I'm hoping this video helps you guys. I'm hoping that it will help you to improve, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.